hypnotherapist. Hi, I'm clinical hypnotherapist Stephanie Conkle. I was just laughing because I started talking before the video started and then realized that, but now I know it started. Okay. So rewind, back to one. Okay, so today I'm just going to briefly talk to you about depth of trance. And I know I've had other videos in the past, I think I did, saying how depth of trance is not the important thing. And that's really true. It's not important. Depth of trance really is not important to the hypnotee or the person being hypnotized. It's not even really that important to the hypnotist, but I like depth of trance. I like deep trance hypnosis. And when I say deep trance, let me explain that. I'm using depth as a metaphor because obviously we're talking about your brain here, right? So when I'm talking about depth, I'm really talking about dissociation. Okay. I like my clients to be completely dissociated, or as dissociated as I can get them, only because I get clearer messages from their subconscious mind. So the subconscious is always alert, it's always awake. It can always hear you. Of course, the subconscious hears what the hypnotist and what everybody is saying at all times. Whether the person is awake or asleep, their subconscious hears the hypnotist, okay? So first of all, that's why I'm never worried about depth of trance. I can do waking hypnosis. I can do NLP. I can do conversational hypnosis and still get very deep and profound results outside of a deep state of dissociation, okay? Again, I like depth of trance personally only because I get more clearer responses back from the subconscious mind. In fact, my own protocol, the subconscious talks to me through the client's voice box. That's the only reason why I even use it, even care about it. It does not matter. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just do an exercise with you guys now, or in a moment. And I'm not going to put you into hypnosis. I still don't want you to listen to this while you're driving or operating heavy machinery, only because there are some people in the population who would still go into a deep state of trance just listening to me. Just me saying those words may have already put someone into a deep state of hypnosis. So make sure that you find a comfortable and safe place to listen to this. But I'm not going to put you into any sort of formal trance or formal state of hypnosis. We're in trance all day, every day. We're living our lives more in trance than not in trance. In fact, when people come to me because they want me to help fix their issue or solve or resolve their issue is usually something like a fear, a phobia, an anxiety, right? Something like that. And you can't get a fear or a phobia if you haven't been hypnotized into a fear, into like a phobia, right? You cannot have a phobia unless you've been hypnotized to have a phobia. So who hypnotizes you to have this phobia? Usually yourself, but the media, other people, stories that you've heard. All right, I'm going to tell you like a really embarrassing story about myself, but I think it will get the point across of how our brains can really make something into a fear or a phobia for us. All right. So when I was in high school, I had a friend who watched this horror movie, and it was called Candyman. And I don't know if you've watched this or not, but it is not scary at all. It's like, it's funny if anything, and boring at best. No, I mean, it's not boring, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. Because it's been a while since I've watched it. I can't really give a critique on it. I just remember it was not scary when I finally watched it. But before I finally watched it, I went for years and years being terrified of the movie, only because the way this girl was describing it to me, she was just making it so scary. She was telling me about it, and I could see like the terror in her body, and I was thinking, oh, Candyman, even the name, even the title of it sounds like scary, because strangers give candy to children. And we've all heard of that, like, even though I don't know how true that really is. Like, but you've always, we were growing up thinking that we were not allowed to take candy from strangers because that stranger will try to poison us and kill the children. And so I guess in my mind I was just thinking, oh, candy man, that's horrible, oh, scary. All right, so we'll fast forward through high school, through college. I got married maybe about a year after I graduated from college. And I married a person who is really big into horror movies. And he makes low budget horror films as a hobby, like on the side, and he's had movies that were in the Cannes Film Festival, stuff like that. And I've worked on his sets, I've mixed fake blood, okay, and I've seen like Rosemary's Baby, and I've seen The Exorcist, and all of these movies. I had to see that. I had to watch these movies in film school, because I have a degree in film and video production before I became a hypnotherapist. So those movies didn't scare me because I guess maybe I just sort of like knew what to expect. And it's like, oh, The Exorcist is kind of creepy. Rosemary's Baby is creepy. But Candyman, I had never seen it in my mind's eye. It was the scariest movie ever, right? So one day, my husband says that he had just come back from the store and he was unloading groceries or something, and he said he picked up a copy of Candyman. Like, he bought Candyman. And I was like, you did what? You are not bringing that movie into my home. That's the most evil movie ever. It cannot even come into my home. I said, you can own the movie, but it's living in your trunk. It has to stay in your trunk. It cannot even come into my house. Okay, this was how irrational I was. But why? Because I was hypnotized into believing that this was the scariest movie on the planet, and I wasn't formally hypnotized. A girl was telling me about it. I started thinking about it in my mind, and I made connections with it being the most evil, scary movie, even though nobody even said it was. Okay, just in my mind's eye, it was terrifying. So it had to live out in the trunk. And then finally one day, I was like, all right, Stephanie, face your fears. Face your fears. Let's just watch it. Like, rip the Band-Aid off of it. So I told my husband, go ahead, bring it inside. Let's watch it. You just stay with me, the lights on. And we watched it, and I kept watching it, and I'm going like, what is this? This is not scary at all. I was waiting for it to get scary. I kind of remember being kind of bored watching it, and I was watching more about the production value, because at this time I knew about production value. Right? And I knew how to make movies at this time, whereas when I was in high school, I didn't really know much about how the magic of cinema worked. So, it was just this slap in the face almost, but like a wake-up call to me, like, this was all in your mind. You don't have a phobia of this stupid movie. You have a fear of the fear. I had a meta fear of this movie, which was ridiculous. But that's the way the mind works. So you don't have to be in deep hypnosis. You don't have to be in deep trance to get whatever, to make the changes to get the benefits. So whether that's a change for the worse, where you've got this, phobia now, or whether that's a change for the better, where you've released all of your traumas, your fears, your phobias, your illnesses, all that kind of stuff, right? So it goes both ways, but you don't have to be in deep trance to have that happen. All you have to do is just get into your imagination. And you can do that in the waking state. And that's why conversational hypnosis works so well. And that's also why hypnosis with metaphors works very well, because a lot of that is storytelling. And if you can really engage the person that you're talking to and get them into a story and get their imagination lit up, right? And just get them fired up with a story that engages the emotions and that engages the subconscious. Also, you can get a phobia or fear or something like that if something traumatic happens to you and all of a sudden you have like a surge of emotion, then that will like instantly hypnotize you. Okay, that will put that fear. And that's a coping mechanism. That's a survival mechanism from the subconscious, just to kind of help you. So we don't have to be in deep trance. All right. Now, because I said all of that, this is the point where I would actually stop the video because it's 10 minutes. I am going to stop it here. I'm going to stop it here at 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back, maybe even tomorrow, or maybe right after this video. I don't know. Somebody just called me, so I'm going to see who that is first. And then I'm going to just bring you into an exercise where I'm going to guide you, more like a guided meditation, not even a meditation really. You just can listen to me, and then you can decide how much of that story you want to absorb and take in, right? And then what we're going to do together is we are going to create your own future, your own reality, just using your imagination. You can keep your eyes open. You can keep watching me, or you can close your eyes, whatever you would like to do. But because this video is getting long now, I'm going to end it here and then continue on with the next video. All right. See you next one. Love you. Bye. Check, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.